Now there she goes again, the dopest Ethiopian.
Mind. It is to read more books. I think I read a book this year. I'm finishing up another one. It's Relationship Goals by Michael Todd. I can get into that. Maybe I'll do a book series on here. That can be, I definitely want to get into black authors. And I want to actually go back. I've been making it as a goal to go back and read the books that I read in middle school that I was obsessed with. Like, I don't know why I had this random rule at some point where I had to read a book in 3 days. It was like basically 3 to 5 days. But I would really try and do it in 3 days. I don't know why. I challenged myself to do that. You know, little Capricorn, gotta have a challenge, but 3 days. So I want to go back to those books because I love them so much. And those include Sharon Draper, read that entire series, and then even Kindred, which is now out on Hulu, which I don't know. I'm trying to not make this video long, but there was only 8 episodes when I like binge watched it, but it didn't seem like it ended. Like it wasn't done. So I'm like, is there another episode next week? It didn't really clarify. So anyways, I want to read the book. I need to start doing more breathing exercises. So yes. And then therapy. I want to get into like counseling. I've definitely done counseling on and off. I just completed counseling actually this year, but I want to do it again with, you know, I did trauma-based counseling. I've done grief-based counseling. You know, I kind of want to find that hot girl counselor, like for everything. You know, I need to find a black girl who speaks my language and gets me. That's who I need. And then I'm also in physical therapy. That goes with, I guess, body. So we can talk about that in another video, child, because that is hilarious if I decide to share. And then morning routine. Oh my gosh, this is something that I incorporated when I was studying for my exam and I was under so much anxiety for my LSAT. I would get up and just not really be on my phone, not no TV, and I would go out, fix me like usually a matcha or a cup of coffee, and I would sit out on my patio. It's like an enclosed patio and a super cute little egg chair, and I would just sit, and sometimes I would read, sometimes I would journal, and sometimes I would just sit and breathe, and it just like set the tone for the day, and like it even has a calming effect of me just thinking about it. I've kind of gotten out of that habit, so I definitely want to reinforce that back into my schedule. And then spirit, of course, pray more. I am always praying. Like, I don't feel like you have to be on your knees for God to hear that as a prayer. Even though I would like to incorporate more of that type of prayer. But I'm always praying. Like, I'm always talking to God, you know, even if it's just a subtle whisper, a dream, a thought, or in my journal. So I want to be, I don't know. I want to be God-led by that. So I just want to pray more. I don't know what that looks like. So I'm going to let God take over that. Journal more. I just mentioned that. So again, I think that is a form of worship and prayer. So I just need to do better. And I have like 2 journals actually. One journal I have for my dreams and goals. So that's like me speaking positively into my future. Or to those around me. And keep this hand down. And then I have another one that's like a journal of like a reflection of what's happening. So one is more past and present. The other one is more future. So I want to start, you know, exploring more. I mean, spending more time in there. Dream more. This is a big one. Because again, I'm a Capricorn. And now you're like, oh, you're mixing Capricorn and religion. Blah, 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 blah. Shut up. Like, I am definitely an earth sign. So when it comes to dreaming, like, I don't like to take a risk. And in that, I'm hindering God because it's like, I'm setting my expectations low. So when they're not met and I'm not dreaming, I mean, when I am dreaming and they are not met, I'm not sad, you know? And like, no one wants to be sad at God, you know? No one wants their feelings hurt. Or even if they're not sad at God, they know, I know God has control over everything. So when I have a dream and it doesn't happen, it's just like, okay, God, you don't like me, or I'm not good enough for this, or what is happening? So, and that's like not something I've done consciously at all, because I know God loves me. I know he wants the best for me. So it's nothing conscious, but I found myself not dreaming because I was scared. I was like, I've been paralyzed with all the stuff that you guys have seen in my previous channel, and then, I mean, my previous videos. And then honestly, all the stuff that I've encountered this year, which we'll talk about, we'll get into the tea. It's just been paralyzing. Like, oh my goodness. And I would say that probably the biggest thing was losing Samira. Like, I don't even, like, I'm just scared. We'll explore that later. Anyways, and then read my Bible more. Ooh, child, listen. I do have a really awesome Bible. It's the She Reads Bible. And I'll read a verse here or there. But because when I was at church, or at that specific church that I was in Columbus, they preach reading the Bible like so much. It was like an indicator of your faith. I've kind of like rejected it because it's like it was a meter for religiosity. So I'm like, okay, God, you exist outside of the Bible, 100%. So this past year, I haven't really like sat down and read. I mean, I have, but not like, oh, I'm gonna do this every single day at 4 o'clock in the morning and just be crying and praying and da-da-da. I'm not doing that. No. Or even, during the day. So I want to read my Bible more, but again, I'm being more spirit led by this. So yes. And then I guess overall, I'm just adding this off the whim, is general, I've done really well. Every year, my goal is to be unapologetically me. And I feel like this past year, I've done really well with that. I've set boundaries. And when you cross those boundaries, there are consequences. So continuing to live in that and continue to push myself, because it took me so, like, I'm 28. I'll be 29 on the 17th. January 17th. Capricorn gang. Put this hand down. You know what I mean? So it's taken me a long time to get here. And I'm not even there yet. So there's no more Meek Mill. Ain't nobody Meek no more. Like, literally. Camille, Cammy, like, she is, I am, like, gonna be that girl. And I'm going to hold you accountable. And it is what it is. If you cross a boundary, how I respond to you crossing my boundaries that I've set and made clear, that's up to you. That's up to you. Poke the bear if you want to. You might get a bear. Listen, you might get lion. You might get lamb. That's in the Bible. Lion and lamb. Even though I'm not God. But you know what I mean? But God is in me. So, like, anyways, those are my goals for 2023. I'm so happy to be back. I'm so excited. So many things. I've gotten a brand deal. Oh my gosh, we'll talk about that again later. What else? Law school, brand deal. Like, 2022 was my year. Like, it was my year. And it's only like the beginning. Like, there were some parts in the year I was literally crying listening to, what is it? Blackbird by Nina Simone, like literally so melodramatic, and was like just feeling every lyric. I got I got the record player, and it came in on the day that I was just like, it was just terrible. It was terrible, and it came in, so I just played it, and I was just like, oh my God, why do I want to fly? And then, look at me now. Hey, look at me now. We'll talk about that later. Anyways, I am done. I don't know if I really have an outro. I gotta watch my old videos. But what are you guys doing in 2023? First of all, are you guys excited to see me? I know you are. You gotta tell me you are. But what are some of your goals? What are some things I need to add to this list? And what are things you're taking away? Share. And don't forget to like and comment some of the stuff I talked about, but share and please subscribe. I promise I'm coming back. And when I say I'm posting more frequently, I don't know how often. I'm not going to promise once a week, but I promise dedication. So you won't catch me on the screens one way or another. All right, bye.